Hi, it's Alaska Granny. I was inventorying my food storage and I thought I would share with you the types of canned meats that you can include in your prepper pantry. Meat is wonderful because it's already cooked. You can just open and eat it. It provides a lot of protein, and canned meats can last far longer than the date on the package. They generally come with, say, 2 to 4 or 5 years on the date, but then they can last many years longer. I have never had a package of meat that has not been fine to eat after the expiration date. We need to remember those dates are best by, sell by, use by, and not expiration date. It's not the same as on a carton of milk. Milk is going to expire and not be any good to eat. But meat and other canned foods are still usually going to be fine, but not always. If you ever are wondering if your can of food is still okay, look it over. Is the lid intact? Does anything on the package look greasy, spoiled? Does it look off? The ends of the can should still be concave. Nothing should be bulging. And when you go to open your can, nothing should spurt. It should all look and smell okay. If it doesn't, then you need to throw it away. It's not worth a couple dollars worth of food for you to become sick. So I'm going to start with my favorite types of canned meats, and I'll just go through them and show you how many different varieties there are and what you can get. I like canned chicken. I find it extremely versatile. I enjoy eating chicken. I buy small cans and large ones because depending on the recipe I'm making, how much meat I want. And so for me, it's sensible to have large and small. But if you only have a large family, just buy large. If you always eat alone, just buy the small ones, because once you open it, you need to have a way to refrigerate it. And in some situations, you may not have that. But in an everyday basic meal planning, it's certainly fine to buy them and have some extra to put in your refrigerator. But I like to just open up another can if I need one. Next, I like to buy canned turkey. Turkey is, I don't have as much of canned turkey, but I enjoy it. I can put it together in my crock pot and make like a turkey type dinner with a can of turkey and some stuffing mix. And that's an easy way to use canned turkey. I like to have canned beef on hand. I buy the Hereford brand. It comes from Brazil. It's top quality. And because it already has gravy in it, it's easy to pour it over noodles or mashed potatoes. You're getting more than just a can of beef. You're getting the gravy with it. You can even stir in a little mustard and give the sauce a different flavor. There's lots of ways to use a can of beef with gravy. A canned meat that other people tell me they find in their stores that I've never seen is the Keystone meats. I ordered the Keystone ground beef from Amazon because I could never ever find it in a store anywhere where I shopped. So I was glad that I could order a case of it from Amazon. Ground beef is extremely versatile to use in your recipes. Pick up some ground beef if you don't already can it yourself. Corned beef is also a delicious way to have meat in your prepper pantry. The corned beef, though, comes with a key, so you need to make sure that the key is intact when you buy it, because that's how you open the can. I made a video about how to open a can of corned beef, and I'll put a link to that video if you've never bought it before. You may not be familiar with how to open the can of corned beef. If you're going to slice it for sandwiches, put it in the refrigerator first. There are a lot of ways to crumble up corned beef and put it into recipes where maybe you want ground beef but you don't have any. It gives a little different flavor, but it's still going to be satisfying. Maybe you like corned beef hash. If you haven't tried it in a while, buy one and try it. See if it's something that you like. Sometimes we forget some of the other varieties of foods. I like to go into the aisle in the store that has the meat, and I walk along and I look them all over and figure out if there's anything that looks nice and tasty, and if I think I might like it or if I need more. If I see something I've never tried before, I'll buy one, take it home and try it, and if I like it, I'll go back and get more. That's how I found pulled pork. I found it at Walmart, and I found it to be very tasty. It works great to make a pulled pork sandwich, so pulled pork earned a spot in my prepper pantry. Ham is another nice meat to have in your prepper pantry. I buy the small cans of ham because I like to stir it into things like pasta salads. You can also buy a larger ham, like a DAC ham. Those can be harder to find, but if you keep looking and you want a larger package of ham, you can look for some of those in your store. You can even find cans of bacon. I bought these a few years ago, and a year or so ago I was going to make a video and open this up and show you what it was like, and then I went to order replacements on Amazon, and it was so ridiculously expensive that I thought, no way, I'm not sharing this even with a video. I'm putting this away for the real SHTF when bacon is going to be something that my family's craving, and then I'll have several cans of Yoder's bacon. You might look for it, maybe the price has gone down again, I don't know, but this is very tasty, it's good, it comes like slices of bacon, and they're wrapped in paper, so when you open it, you actually have slices of bacon. Next, think about all the different kinds of seafood that you can get. I like to buy tuna, but be careful. I recently bought this anklet tuna at Walmart because it was what they had. And when I opened it, it was nasty stuff. And then I was reading on the label, it actually includes soy. So proceed with caution if you see something that you haven't shopped for before, something you haven't bought before, check it out. That's why you want to be cautious. Buy one and take it home and try it. I never had any brand of tuna that I bought. They put things in it that were not tuna, and it's written so small on the label. I didn't notice, and you may not either. Crab meat is also nice to find in a can. Crab meat has a distinctly different flavor than tuna, and it can really be delicious into things like Alfredo. I like to buy clams. Clams are an easy way to make a clam pasta. You can stir it easily into some pasta and make a nice clam sauce. So that's the favorite way that I use a can of clams. I used to be able to find cans of shrimp, but they just don't seem to be available anymore. I don't know if you can still find shrimp. Let me know if shrimp is still available where you live, but it's not been available where I've been shopping for a very long time. Maybe you like sardines. Some of them are imported and they're very expensive, but you can pick them up sometimes at the Dollar Tree, where they used to only be $1, and now I suppose they're $1.25. I've tried several different varieties of the sardines because some of them come with tomato sauce, some of them are in oil, some of them are in mustard sauces, and so try each one if you like sardines. If it's not something you like, pass it by and choose a meat that you do like. I have kipper snacks because someone in my family likes these. It's not something that I even enjoy the smell of, but if somebody in my family wants to eat it and this would be a nice treasured meal for them, then I'm certainly going to have it in my stockpile. Next, we can look at meats that are like combo meats. They're a little bit of a mystery. Spam. Spam can be found just as regular spam. I also have bacon spam, which is nice. You can slice it very thin and fry it, and it's almost like bacon. You can also find spam that is teriyaki flavored, that's turkey flavored, that's some hot, spicy, seasoned flavor. They're all different kinds of spam, and sometimes you can find them readily available, and then other times you may only see plain old spam. So if you want to try some of the varieties, check it out. You may not particularly enjoy spam, but maybe with some of the other flavorings, and it'll give you something to try. I did make a video a few years ago on different ways to cook spam, so I'll put a link to that in case you're interested to try it out. If you're a spam lover, look for luncheon loaf. It pretty much, in my opinion, tastes the same, but you can save a few dollars on each can. Not in a can, but a convenient way to have meat if you want some for your bug out bag or for some grab and go meals. Look for the pouches of meat. You can find chicken, tuna, salmon, spam, and probably other things. I've tried some that had flavors in them and I didn't care for those at all. So I try to find the ones that are just the plain meat in them. But they aren't going to last as long simply because it's in a foil pouch. It's not in a can. It's not designed to withstand life because these can get punctured. If you can't find the meats that you love, look for foods that contain the meats that you want. Maybe you want to find some taco complete. This has spicy taco type filling. It includes meat, and you can do all kinds of different recipes with it. I made a video about different ways I use the taco complete, and I'll put a link to that video if you're interested. Look for other foods that include meat, like chicken and dumplings. How about beefaroni or ravioli? How about a can of tamales? You can find them with chicken or with beef. Look for varieties of soups that have meat in them, such as chicken pot pie or chicken sausage gumbo. it's harder to find sausage in a can, but that's one that has it, and it's pretty flavorful if you enjoy eating sausage. There are many different soups that include beef. You can choose a few of your favorites and add them in so that you have some meat in an easy to open meal. Look for different brands of chili. Some of them have beef, some have turkey, some have chicken, and you can even find one with no beans. And these are great because they tend to have more meat in them, and so they're great to get more meat in them. You can add your own beans, and then you have a little bit more protein. They're also great because you can use them as a sauce over pasta. Less meat in them, but still has the flavor you might be craving. Look for cans of sausage gravy. How about cream of chicken soup or chicken broth? You're going to be getting the flavors of the meat that you want, and you can mix them into the recipes when you can't have the meat that you want. Not in a can, but a way to have meat in a meal is to look for some of the Hormel Completes. I've tried them with beef, turkey, and chicken, and I find them all to be fine. Of course, some are going to be better than others. It just depends on what your flavor palette is. But these are great for your bug-out bag. They're also great for grab-and-go meals. Or if you have a power outage, guess what? You don't have to cook these either. They're already completely cooked. You're supposed to heat them up in the microwave for 1 minute, but if you couldn't, you can still have this. Also consider the number 10 cans. They have options that include meat and are meat. At the beginning of the pandemic, I ordered from August Farms some chicken, and it was like $60 for a can, but I was very concerned that we wouldn't be able to get enough food going forward. I ordered one for my daughter and one for myself. Hers arrived carefully. Mine came like 3 months late. It was all dented up, and they wanted me to pay shipping on it, which I refused it. So you need to be careful, because when times become complicated, like it did at the beginning of the pandemic, overnight the food can become harder to find, more expensive, and then we have more worry about our food supply going forward. So now is a good time to see what kind of things you would like to add. The creamy chicken and rice from August Farms is considered a super can because it has 3 pouches of 8 servings each. So when you open it, you can take out 1 pouch, you can use half a pouch, you can use the whole pouch, and if you had a whole army at your house, I guess you could prepare the whole entire can. But it has options so that it's still going to stay freshly sealed up depending on how many portions you would like to use. You can tell I've had this one for a long time because the August Farm labels don't look like this anymore. But this is a chili mix, and it already has some meat in it. And yes, it's not the first ingredient, but it has meat in it, and it's chili that can last for 30 years. And so I don't have to worry when I run out of my little cans of chili. I'll still be able to make some in an apocalyptic SHTF situation. The reason I like the number 10 cans like this is I don't know how much longer I'm going to live, and if I put these away and I never need them, that's okay with me. It was insurance, lifestyle insurance, that I had food that I need. And if something does happen, I can not worry about having an additional supply of long-term food storage that might be tasty besides just rice and beans. Plus, this is still going to be fine if something happens to me, then my family can have it. These are some of the options of meat that you can have in your Prepper Pantry stockpile. Be gathering foods that you know you like, and then be rotating them. You need to keep track of the oldest should be on the front of the shelf, and then the newer should go in the back, and as you use the ones in the front, you push it forward and you replace it. So your Prepper Pantry becomes a working pantry. You're working your way through it. You're using, rotating, and replacing. And that's how you're going to have a successful food storage stockpile. What's missing out of my stockpile? Foods that I don't want to eat. I do not care to eat Vienna sausages. I don't want to ever eat potted meat, but I will also buy the little packages of crackers with chicken. The chicken's in like a little can. It's not as long lasting of a can as some of these foods are. So you can find canned meat at your grocery store, sometimes even at your drugstore. You can order it on Amazon, and yeah, wherever you're shopping, keep an eye out. If you see something you think you'd like, get one and try it. And then you'll at least be working your way into finding more foods that can last longer that you might enjoy having for when times become, who knows, more complicated. If you enjoyed my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might like it. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.